Now, so the production, you give a couple milestone, and for me, the milestone come up from the project itself, specification. I mean, you guys understand a bit? So if I'm looking at a game, for example, that requires at one point to fall off the cliff and you die, like one of my games that I'm working on right now. Okay, that's a milestone for me because that's a tricky thing to implement. Okay, especially in 2D, you're gonna go all the way to the edge, pawn by pawn, basically, and telling me X and Y. This is where it fails and where it doesn't fail. And if your edge is not flat, like my game was not flat, it's a hell of a work. Pardon my French, okay? And my coder said that took me 3 weeks in order to do it, and it's good, trust me. Couple milestone. You obviously have the user interface. Is a big milestone. Okay, you have to have a user interface that works properly, and that's implemented pretty much at the end. So you start really easy, frankly. Milestone, first of all, for me, what I like to do is get the background going. All right, define the background of your object, of your game level, of your level, and it's scrolling. Okay, start putting the playfield and all the actual platforms and so forth, stuff inside the level editor, and try to see how it works. All right, right away. Okay, even with mock-ups, you guys, and then obviously changing them day after day, and then and mainly static stuff, basically. All right, and then after that, implement animation. Okay, animation is another sprite animation, basically. All right, for 2D, okay, or 3D animation also. It's a good milestone, basically, because it's pretty tricky to make you work properly and to blend properly between motion. Okay, and then after that, you have collision is a big thing also for me. All right, so like I said, it goes for me. It's not like set because of money and deadline more. Okay, but I'm more of an organic type of guy. Okay, in the way I work, than in basically an actual project demand, basically, of what it needs to be. All right, we're doing a project with in the water. We need to solve water fluid right away. That's a big milestone. You know what I'm saying, you guys? We need to get that going properly. All right, shooting game. You need to have the bullet goes and the collision works properly. That's a big milestone too. All right, artificial intelligence. It's a huge one, actually. That's a tricky one. Because artificial intelligence actually has to do with gameplay, and it basically regulates your tempo of your game also. And that's one thing I need to do for my game right there that people like it. I thought it's a cool, funny little game. It's a little game, not a AAA, a casual game, that one. But the tempo is totally wrong. All right, it's like you're crunching for 5 minutes and then, and that's this, there's no rhythm to it, big time. Okay, you guys? This is where I give a really big importance to testers. Right away you test, okay? Because you can test bugs, obviously, but you can test tempo at the same time. All right? So the milestone for me are like that. Obviously, you have the producer, the big producer guy, has other milestone in mind also. I'm talking the pure technical production one. Okay, right here, okay? You're basically gradually building it from very simple stuff and you're adding on stuff, okay? Like we didn't add the falling and dying off the cliff until the end anyway, because it was worthless for testing. With that stuff, we die all the time. For testing, it's no fun. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. There's a progression in things, basically, all right? But the producers, if he has a publishing company with him, basically. If he has a big publishing company, or if he's the money guy, or he has the money guy discussing with him, he's going to have a different setup of milestones that are not that technical in the pipeline system, but are basically managing of project, basically orientated. This is a project. We're starting at the start line and we get to the end line, basically. All right. Now, the publishing company wants to get to the end line because he can't sell anything that is not finished. You, as the producer of the technical team, need to get to the finish line, but as the first. You guys understand what I'm talking about? That means you need to raise the quality high enough so you're number one when it gets out of when you get past the end. Okay, the finish line basically, not just past the finish line. All right, you need to strive to pass the finish line number one, which will be always a fight in your milestone with that publishing company because they'll take more time and more money than they expect. All right, but it's important that you keep that in mind. You don't want to overdo it because we talked about that also. You find your target, my target will see 70% of the work I really do. You know what I'm saying? Those other 30%, they don't see it. I see it because I'm a pro, but the others, the people that are going to buy my product, not going to see it. I don't really need to do those 30%. I would say don't do it, but still pass the 70%. Give yourself a margin. All right? So you basically impress them more, okay, than they would have. Okay? The problem is you're going to be very tight in deadline all the time. So make sure you give your milestone some buffers. All right? If you need to give it this coming Friday, don't tell you guys to give it to you today on Thursday. Okay? That's never going to work. You gotta give yourself weeks to do that. You know what I'm saying? So you ensure, that when you need it, it's actually there. Because if it's not there when you really need it, the others are depending on you. You know what I'm saying? Because we talk always about the parallel thing. All right? So the other departments are depending on you. They can't go forward if you don't go forward. All right? It's like I got into almost a beef with my audio guy in one of my games right now because they keep changing the freaking dialogues on me. I'm like, dude, how I'm doing lip sync? McFly, wake up, dude. You're gonna make me do lip sync 3 times already for one scene. This is a waste of our time. Get your act together, get the proper audio file right away, then send me that one. Don't start sending me stuff you don't want me to do. Alright, because then that's way too much work for my team. Alright, so and that's part of the communication process also. So the milestone is 2 of them. Alright, always give to your the people that have the money and have the key on you, basically, good stuff. Alright? Because they keep the key of your game, basically. If you don't plug the cash, that's it. Your whole team is down. So they are the people you always want to control quality big time with that. Alright? Because you can't BS your way through that very much. Alright? Very long, basically. They won't trust you. And people that give a lot of money get very worried very quickly. You know what I'm saying? Like my boss right now, she spent like $250,000 or something like that already. She's very nervous about that math game. She wants to finish it right now, this month. There's no wait anymore. And for a while, in the middle of her work, she was ready to pull the plug because she didn't understand what we were doing and nothing was coming up. All right. So always communicate with your publishing company, with the money people, basically, what the heck is going on. If you have any problem, tell them right away. Your production, I need that, or this is a problem. All right, don't wait to get hammered, basically. Okay, so you put your steps, big steps after all those things. Basically, there's a big step for me is security, especially if you play online. Your security server and your security routine and modules needs to be super tough. And when I say security, it's not to hack the game money-wise that much, though it is. But it's also for all the little trickery they can find on your game, okay, that can make the game not as nice in reality, okay, the exploit, basically, some of the exploit. You want to have exploit, all right, but good stuff, not stuff that let them do things that ease up the game too much, make the game boring, basically, all right, and that's a big thing. Security is a big thing, you guys. Now, on the milestone, software-wise, you obviously, and I call that the PR because I'm used by the software industry to say that, it's the last one. The PR is a pre-release. All right, that should be a final product pretty much beside a couple bugs. All right, you guys. Before that, you have the beta. And there's someone on the website that gives a really good info on Minecraft, which my kids play all the time. I think the game is a grind, frankly. I never play Minecraft. I mean, it just kills me. It's like having a job. And not getting paid. I'm paying for it. I'm like, God, I gotta do that. But anyway, it's a great game. Don't get me wrong. It's a really good game. And it's true that the guy is still in beta for a very long time now. Okay? It's a very different situation in the way that I'm not sure it's a real beta. When he's calling a beta, I'm not sure it's a real beta. Okay? Because he's been working so long for so well and made so much money. So I'm like, okay, maybe you want to improve on it and get better. Better, I'm not sure, because it works pretty well to have that many people play it, and my daughter never complains about it. You know, beta have bugs basically. All right, you're weeding out stuff. All right, and before the beta, you have the alpha. All right, the alpha is very rough. Okay, and before that, you have a couple builds, and we'll name them depending on your milestone, basically. All right, that's, you know, and again, that comes depending on the territory of the game, on those things. All right. Again, I would not release anything to the publishing company that looks decent, visually attractive. It doesn't have to be finished or anything like that, because you'll have a lot of rough stuff you're going to have to show them at every milestone. But I'm going to try to show them as nice as possible everything. Even if I kind of have to, not weasel my way, but kind of make it look better than it is. Package it properly, let's keep it this way. All right? It's a very big money deal. You might want to have a team just specialized just in that. You know what I'm saying? I get stuff ready in a format that the publishing company, the money people will like. Okay, it's not a bad idea. You know, I do that all the time with my money boss here. All right, lady. I send them stuff that looks good, you know, and explain to them what's going on exactly and why and so forth, and reassure them by showing them stuff over time. You see, we're not just doing stuff. We're not just spending your cash, you know, when playing video game. We're just doing stuff too. You haven't seen stuff because it hasn't showed up visually enough yet. All right.